What up, big dogs? Welcome to the muck hole. Parasocial relationships were first described in 1956 by the sociologists Donald Horton and Richard Wohl. Back then, they observed how television and radio personalities could create an intimacy at a distance.
Might be interesting to know how tall you are. Number one, how tall are you?
6'9", sir.
Number two, how tall?
I'm 6'9", sir.
Number three, how tall?
6'7", sir.
6'7".
What happened?
With newscasters, talk show hosts, and actors beamed into living rooms, they cultivated the illusion of a reciprocal friendship. Viewers would tune in regularly and feel connected, as if engaging in a personal conversation, even though the person on the screen had no idea that they existed. Horton and Wohl noted that these faux friendships thrive on consistency and familiarity. If you watch the same host every night, you might start feeling comforted by their mere presence. Research has found that when a beloved TV show ends, dedicated fans often experience real distress, akin to a friend moving away. Even in those early days, media figures actively nurtured this sense of intimacy. Think of the classic late-night hosts who spoke directly to the camera, or children's shows presenters like Mr. Rogers who seemed to welcome you personally to the neighborhood. By looking into the lens or adopting a conversational tone, performers made millions of viewers feel like old friends. Our brains have evolved to thrive on social contact. It doesn't matter if the person on the other side of the screen can't actually interact with us. People bond with them anyway. Fast forward to the present, and the media landscape has exploded. We no longer have just a few TV presenters to bond with. We have thousands of influencers, YouTubers, TikTokers, Twitch streamers, podcasters, and more, each inviting us into their curated little world.
Yo, chat, is this real? Chat, is this real? For real? Chat.
Parasocial dynamics have not only grown in number, but have also intensified in the intimacy. On social media, those distant TV hosts are replaced by people who feel much closer. In your pocket, on a device designed for you to check it obsessively. They post daily life updates, talk directly into the camera as if they were talking to you, respond to comments or chat messages, and reveal personal stories or authentic moments. The result? It's easier than ever to blur the line between audience and friend. Many creators actively cultivate parasocial bonds. Their livelihood depends on engagement, and nothing engages more than making viewers feel personally connected. The more real and relatable an influencer appears, the stronger the audience's attachment. One recent study found that traits such as spontaneity, imperfection, and personal confessions in content creators make them seem more genuine, like ordinary people rather than the rich celebrities that they are. Podcasters that ramble, YouTubers who leave in goofy bloopers like burping, streamers who chat casually about their day. All these little touches convince people that,
Hey, they're just like me.
This ordinariness and unfiltered style is a stark contrast to the old Hollywood stars who felt distant and godlike. Now, if a YouTuber films in their messy bedroom while wearing sweatpants and oversharing about an awkward date, it's endearing. It builds trust. The result? Some people might start thinking of that podcast host or the streamer as a friend, even if they've never exchanged a single private word. Social media has added a little sprinkle of interactive fairy dust to parasocial relationships. Unlike yelling at a TV back in the good old days, now you leave comments, send DMs, or participate in the live chat. Once in a blue moon, the creator might even acknowledge you. They might like a comment, give a brief reply, give your username a read aloud on the live stream. Those tiny interactions can feel electrifying when you're deeply invested. It's a fleeting reciprocity that can make a one-sided relationship feel just a tad more mutual. Of course, it's largely an illusion. Responding to one fan out of thousands isn't a real friendship, but it can reinforce the bond. The chatter thinks,
They noticed me. We shared a moment.
The parasocial relationship thrives on these crumbs of interaction and grows stronger. We end up with massive online communities of fans who all feel individually connected to the creator, and sometimes even address each other as a sort of extended friend group. It's a fascinating new ecosystem. Digital intimacy at scale. Parasocial relationships aren't just passive entertainment. They can actively shape who we are, especially in adolescence. These one-sided bonds often become a sandbox for identity. Teenagers, kids, and let's be honest, adults too, may experiment with values, style, and personality by emulating admired figures from afar. Psychologists have found that imagining relationships with beloved characters or celebrities can give us a safe space to explore emotions and try on different behaviors. For example, a shy teen who idolizes a bold, confident streamer might start adopting some of their speech patterns or attitudes in their own life, essentially using the parasocial bond as inspiration to grow. It's like a trial run for real relationships, a training montage for your personality, but done in the mirror of someone else's life. These relationships can also boost self-esteem and serve as coping mechanisms. There's evidence that if you have low self-confidence, feeling connected to an empowering figure can actually make you more optimistic and assertive. Those who struggle with close relationships especially find comfort in parasocial bonds. They get attached to media figures with traits they admire, trying to embody those qualities themselves as a strategy to handle their own social anxieties. It's paradoxical. Feeling attached to a favorite celebrity can offer comfort and stability through tough times. Many fans will also attest that a certain book series or YouTube channel got them through a rough period. The character's virtues or the creator's encouraging words become part of their support system. However, entwining parasocial bonds with identity has a flip side. When your sense of self or community is heavily built around a media figure, you might start to identify as a fan before anything else. Think of die-hard fan groups with their own nicknames and costumes. Those aren't just hobbies, they're identities. Being a Swiftie or a Hassan Abi head can feel like belonging to a tribe. On one hand, that fandom identity can be empowering and social. On the other hand, if the object of your devotion changes or falters, your world can shake. What happens when the person that you've looked up to, and maybe patterned yourself after, does something that you dislike, or simply moves on? Fans often experience a mini identity crisis. We've seen public outcry when a popular creator deviates from the image that their fans held. Remember, the fan doesn't truly know the celebrity. They know a symbol or the idealized persona. If reality cracks that facade, say the family-friendly vlogger, or your favorite streamer is caught in a scandal, the conflict can hit deep for some people. Some fans adjust and grow with the new reality, but others react with anger or denial, as if part of themselves were threatened. In many cases, fans might harass the person that they once adored for not being who they thought they were. A twist that highlights just how oddly powerful these one-sided bonds can become in shaping someone's personal identity and worldview. One of the biggest drivers behind parasocial attachments is loneliness. When we feel isolated, turning to a friendly face on a screen can be comforting. Parasocial relationships can act as a social lifeline, offering a sense of companionship when actual friends or family aren't around. In fact, these bonds can decrease loneliness for many people. Think of how a beloved TV show or engaging YouTube channel can fill an otherwise quiet evening with warmth and laughter. You might feel like you're part of a tight group or cultural movement, experiencing something alongside millions of other fans. During the COVID-19 lockdowns, countless people gravitated towards online communities and fandoms as a remedy for their isolation. A parasocial bond can also be a gateway to social connections. Fans meet each other in online forums, Discord servers, fan conventions, comment sections, forming genuine friendships that can be built on shared love for a creator or a character. That imaginary friend on the screen can inadvertently introduce you to real friends in the world. In this way, parasocial relationships can enrich our social lives, rather than detract from them. They create communities of like-minded people. But, and this is a big but, parasocial relationships are not a cure-all for loneliness. They're a double-edged sword. Relying too much on one-sided connections can potentially exacerbate feelings of isolation in the long run. Why? Because as fulfilling as they feel, these relationships lack true reciprocity. The media figure isn't going to listen to your problems or give you a hug on a bad day. Humans ultimately need to be loved back to thrive. If someone spends all their time basking in the glow of their favorite streamer's attention, directed at the camera, not at them, they might neglect opportunities to form actual relationships. In extreme cases, a person might withdraw from real social activities, skipping a dinner with friends because they'd rather not miss a live stream. That's when real red flags should wave. Parasocial ties should complement, not replace our flesh and blood relationships. There's also the matter of quality of connection. A parasocial bond can't challenge you or respond in unpredictable ways like a real friend can. If someone uses parasocial interactions as a total substitute for the give and take of real relationships, They might miss out on developing social skills or resilience that comes with dealing with real people, who can be messy and complicated. Psychologists warn that while a little bit of parasocial relationships in life is fine, it should not crowd out real bonds or warp one's expectations of intimacy. If you start to prefer the hassle-free company of the YouTubers or streamers to the complexity of real humans, it might be time to step back and seek balance. After all, no parasocial friend will ever call you out when you're wrong or give you a sincere hug when you need it. And those are things that we all need. The emotional bonds that we form with media figures have become a valuable commodity. Advertisers, corporations, and creators themselves are well aware of the fact that if you feel like you're someone's friend, you're more likely to trust them, and possibly buy whatever they recommend. We see this dynamic clearly with social media influencers. Companies love partnering with influencers who have a devoted following because those followers have a parasocial relationship that heightens the influencer's persuasive power. Essentially, a product endorsement from your favorite YouTuber or streamer feels like a recommendation from a friend, and that's marketing gold. At a broader level, entire platforms are designed to monetize parasocial interactions. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok, they all thrive on creators building loyal audiences who keep coming back for more content, and bringing their eyeballs to more ads. Features like Twitch subscriptions or YouTube super chats, where you pay to have your message highlighted in the live stream, are explicit ways to cash in on fans' desire for closeness. It's as if the industry said,
Oh, you feel like you know this creator? Great. How much would you pay to get a tiny bit closer?
There's a reason many creators address their viewers as friends or even family. It's a strategy that fosters loyalty and goodwill, which can be converted into revenue. Whether from ads, merch sales, or sponsored content, the money's all green. The relatability and closeness that make content engaging are what make it profitable. Consumerism preys on our vulnerabilities and loneliness. If we crave connection, companies are eager to package it and sell it to us. One subscription box or donation at a time. This commodification has consequences. For one, people become products. Influencers and celebrities are encouraged to cultivate a consistent, easily digestible persona, a brand, that audiences can latch onto and consume. They are, in a sense, simplified and sold as symbols: the wholesome family man, the relatable gamer, or the motivational guru. Audiences, in turn, come to consume these personas as part of their identity and lifestyle. If you buy the merch, you're not just buying an object. You're buying a symbol of your connection to the creator. There's nothing inherently wrong with merchandise, of course, but it's telling that being a fan often comes with a shopping list. The line between genuine admiration and market transactions blur. You love the YouTuber, so you buy their shitty hoodie with their catchphrase. You're both expressing your identity and acting as a walking advertisement. The structure also warps accountability and boundaries. Fans who feel close to a creator might defend them fiercely online, even when the creator is clearly in the wrong. Loyalty that any politician or CEO would envy. In these parasocial bonds, we often see a skewed power dynamic where the usual checks and balances of friendships don't exist. The creator isn't obliged to reciprocate or really know their fans, which means that if the fans' needs aren't met, too bad. Conversely, fans sometimes develop a sense of entitlement over their idol's life. After all, if a celebrity has built their brand on being your virtual friend, some fans assume the right to pry or demand things as they would from a real friend. We see this when fans get a bit invasive, digging into a creator's personal life or expressing righteous anger when the person deviates from the persona that they sold to the public. The celebrity becomes a product, expected to always meet fans' expectations, and when they don't, backlash ensues. It's a strange tug of war. The creator holds the clout and the microphone, but the collective fans can cancel or elevate someone overnight. The power in parasocial relationships is not evenly distributed, but neither is it one-sided. It's an asymmetric relationship, yet deeply interdependent. Parasocial relationships can comfort us, inspire us, and make us feel part of something bigger. They can also mislead us, commodify our emotions, and remind us in painful ways that the intimacy we feel is ultimately an illusion. As we look ahead, the landscape of digital intimacy is only getting more complex. AI influencers and companions are already emerging. Artificial personalities who can mimic friendship better than any human can. Some people have even started forming romantic connections with chatbots. finding them safer and more supportive than flesh and blood partners. It raises some questions. What happens when machines love us better than people do? Will we retreat further into personalized, one-sided bubbles because they're comfortable and under our control? And if we do, what do we lose? As the boundary between real and virtual relationships blur, we have to ask, where do we draw the line for digital intimacy? Is there a point where a parasocial connection, whether with a human influencer or an AI friend, becomes too consuming or too manipulative? How do we maintain healthy emotional boundaries when every platform out there is trying to keep you engaged? In a world where loneliness has become a market opportunity and the commercialization of connection is an industry in itself, how can we ensure that we, the users, aren't being hollowly pacified at the expense of real growth in mutual relationships? Conversely, how do we hold influencers or the companies accountable for the power that they wield in these quasi-relationships, if we should at all? Finally, we might wonder about the impact on our humanity. If digital, one-sided relationships become ever more convincing, if your favorite streamer or AI bot is always there, always agreeable, and never truly challenging you, do we risk dulling our capacity to appreciate the beautiful messiness of real intimacy? Or will these digital bonds simply evolve our social fabric into something new, where the definition of friend expands to include people we'll never meet and entities that don't technically exist? Are parasocial relationships a comforting supplement to real life, or a forewarning of a future where simulated intimacy replaces the real thing? I don't know. What do you think? These are real questions that we might have to reckon with very soon. Remember to log off every once in a while, and to reach out to someone who can hug you back. Thanks for rolling around in the muck hole. Catch y'all later.